All right, everybody. Let me go ahead and share with you some thoughts from a Forbes article I just uh, posted yesterday that is about 3 reasons that everyone should consider what their mix of human and digital employees will be in your organization. So to consider AI agents in your organization. First of all, there are some of you may be familiar with a quote from Jensen Huang, the CEO, founder of NVIDIA, in which he said that he sees his organization growing to perhaps $1 trillion organization, but growing from 36,000 employees today to 50,000 humans and 100 million AI agents. And I'm calling this new mix the hybrid organization, because I think all organizations are going to hybridize. Now, why is that? There are 3 reasons. One is straightforward capital substitution for labor that we're automating, just as we did in the Industrial Revolution. And I'm doing some work on a cost model that looks at if you were to take a call center and to try to translate the call center workers into demand for AI inference. And the measure I've given is tokens. And I can go through, for anyone who's interested, the details of how I've broken up the work. But basically, for about $30 worth of tokens, I believe that you can automate half or more of a call center operator's activity in most settings. And if you look at the calls in the United States, fully loaded cost of a call center operator is about $300 a day. So that means that for $30, I can automate half or more of somebody's work, and I still have $270 daily to buy tokens, which translates into over 10 million tokens for each individual. So the labor cost substitution with capital is going to be massive. In addition, there's a thing that Bruce Henderson, the guy who founded Boston Consulting Group, talked about, which is an experience curve, which is the more volume of a particular activity you go through a production system, the lower the unit cost. And he showed this on aerospace. Every doubling of the number of airframes that went through a factory, the unit cost would go down by a fixed amount. And excuse me. And so that is going to be, I think, the same thing here. The second is the lower cost of innovation. Chip Hazard over at the Flybridge Ventures, which is a early stage venture capital and a friend of Paul's and mine, has noted that organizations that are looking for capital from him are going from $5 and $10 million in the first round down to 2 to 4, and they're leveraging the rest with AI. This is true, and it's fantastic because, and the same thing's true in large organizations. If you want to create the organizational slack necessary to invent the organization of the future, not just to optimize the organization of today, the idea of using AI to help create that slack is going to be a big issue. And the third is agile scalability. I'm a veteran of being in people businesses, consulting businesses, academia, and so forth. I know what it is to hire a big group of people to scale up demand and scale up supply, and to crank it down when demand is not there. If you can automate some of that, your ability to crank up and down just by adding more compute power as opposed to hiring and firing people is just fantastic. So the 3 key questions I think every executive needs to ask themselves is, what kinds of digital workers do I need? And they have to ask themselves this today. What kind of digital workers do I need? And in order to navigate that, I'd go back to the WINS framework that Paul mentioned before: words, images, numbers, and sounds. That can help you figure out what task and function you might be able to do this kind of automation. And in there, it's things like marketing, customer service, legal review, and so forth. Second, does my organization really even have the skill to understand what it means to hire a digital worker and to bring them into the organization and to deploy them across, whether it's an expert in something like the review of contracts or mergers and acquisitions or any number of things. You can create those digital experts. And then the last and probably most important question is, how hybrid will my organization be by the end of 2025? And if the answer is 0, I think that that's a huge mistake, because this is an ongoing organizational capability that leaders who know how to bring this in, figure out how to work with a hybrid organization of digital workers and human workers together, and to get on that learning curve is going to be massive. And I think it's going to affect every organization and every function over time. But certainly, if you start with the WINS framework, it's a practical way to begin. So with that, it's available. I will put the link in the chat and happy to have comments, agreements, disagreements, or activities.